Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for June 24th, 2010, and now the news. General Motors is laying the groundwork to do an IPO, an initial public offering to start selling stock again. The Detroit News reports that GM will hold a big financial summit next week with bankers, analysts, and investment firms. Bloomberg reports GM wants to sell at least 20% of the warrants the U.S. government holds in the company, taking the government's ownership under 50%. Here's my Autoline insight. GM desperately needs to drop the derisive Government Motors nickname that many critics use to describe it. Many consumers still will not buy a GM car because the government technically owns the company. Also, President Obama needs this to happen going into the fall elections. He needs to convince those skeptical voters that the bailout was a good move that's paying off for the government. When Ferrari first introduced digital gauges on some of its cars back in the 1980s, enthusiasts were horrified. They thought it was nothing but heresy that Ferrari would use anything but big analog gauges. And this next announcement will make them cringe in horror. Ferrari's going to drop manual transmissions in its cars going forward. Bloomberg reports that this is a trend amongst other supercar manufacturers. The reason is that dual-clutch automatics are just getting so good, most people prefer them. Ford will build a new manufacturing plant in Thailand despite all the political turmoil there. Construction of the $450 million factory should be finished in 2012. It'll be a flexible facility, able to assemble a wide variety of products, but it'll start by building the upcoming Focus. Initial annual capacity should be somewhere around 150,000 units, and up to 85% of that production will be for markets outside of Thailand. Automakers are constantly tinkering with their minivans, trying to broaden their appeal. Nissan introduced the Quest as the minivan for people who hate minivans. Pontiac did a version of the Transport minivan called the Montana, trying to give it a Marlboro Man image. Toyota's doing a series of hip-hop videos of the Sienna, calling it the Swagger Wagon. And now the Wall Street Journal says Chrysler wants to make a Macho Man version of its next-generation minivan. Here's my Autoline insight. Nobody aspires to own a minivan. People buy them because they need them, not because they lust after them. Minivans are just the most practical vehicle there is for a family, and all these attempts to make them macho or tough or cool are not going to work because they never have. Hyundai is really coming on strong these days, delivering one solid product after another. When it introduced the 2011 Sonata a few months back, it took a big risk by not offering an optional V6 engine. This sedan is four-cylinder only. But with up to 200 horsepower on tap, the base power plant is perfectly fine for most people. For those who want a little more oomph, though, the company is offering a turbocharged 4 with 274 horsepower. We've known about this for a while, but now we've got more numbers to report. According to Autoblog, the Sonata 2-liter turbo will deliver up to 34 miles per gallon on the highway. That's 7 liters per 100 kilometers. And it'll launch from 0 to 60 miles an hour in only 6.5 seconds. That's sports sedan territory, people. Making the car even more enticing, it does this all on regular grade gasoline. And in related powertrain news, Motor Authority reports that Hyundai is working on a 5-liter version of its Tao V8. The current motor, already awards 10 Best Engines winner, delivers 385 horsepower, but the enlarged model is expected to put out 429 ponies. Let me see, 5 liters. That number sounds familiar. Didn't another automaker just introduce a 5-liter engine? Oh yeah, Ford did. Its Reborn 302 just came out in the Mustang. Too bad though, it only delivers 412 horses. You know, I wonder if the new V8 will fit in the Genesis Coupe. Look for it in the Equus sedan around March of next year. And in still more Hyundai news, Ward reports that the company's planning a dedicated hybrid vehicle similar to Honda's Insight. It's unclear whether this new model would use the same powertrain as the Sonata Hybrid, but that would be an obvious starting point. No introduction date has been given. Say, what do you think of the way that the new Jeep Grand Cherokee looks? A lot of people seem to like it, and in just a moment we'll take you on a styling tour of the vehicle with one of Chrysler's top designers.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
When Daimler split from Chrysler, almost all of the Germans working at Chrysler packed up their bags and headed home. But not all of them. Klaus Busse stayed with Chrysler. He's the head of interior design at Chrysler, and we just got him to give us a styling tour of the new Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Hi, I'm Klaus Busse with Chrysler Design, and I'm here to show you the new 2011 Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee is a very iconic vehicle, so when we designed it, it was important to us that it looks like a Jeep. So here you have the typical 7-slot grille of Jeep that makes it identifiable as a Jeep right away. But also in the body side, you will see very typical Jeep cues. Like for example, the trapezoidal wheel arch that we have here, and also of course in the rear of the vehicle, something instantly recognizable as a Jeep. Another important thing for us designers is always proportion. Good exterior design needs good proportion. Something you see here is the beautiful short overhangs front and rear, which helps of course with approach and departure angle when you take the vehicle off-road, but also allows us designers to put the wheels all the way to the corner of the vehicle and give it this beautiful stance. Another beautiful thing is the metal to glass ratio. By blackening out the B-post and C-post, we really give the car this long extended look and really emphasize the sheet metal to glass ratio. Last not least, the icing of course is always the beautiful sculpture of the body side, which really give it this aesthetic, beautiful look. So also let's take a look at the inside of the interior. The highlight of the interior is definitely the leather-wrapped instrument panel. Beautiful leather with a nice live accent stitch in combination with real wood and chrome accents. We really wanted to bring American craftsmanship back into this vehicle and show the world that we know how to do a beautiful crafted interior. We have also a lot of very nicely designed details that the customer will enjoy, like AC outlets with their beautiful rubber coated and accented, chrome accented switches that have a really nice sensual feel. The push to start button that is nicely integrated in the wood grain, and basically anywhere where you touch you'll feel a surface that is either soft or has been designed in a way that it feels really good to your touch. And there are many more surprises that you'll like and you'll discover throughout the ownership, where you will touch or discover things and you will realize how much time the team spent to really go beyond what we haven't ever done before and really bring the American craftsmanship back.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee is in production right now and will start showing up in dealerships very shortly. Hey, don't forget to tune into Autoline After Hours tonight when our guest will be Kathleen Lagaki, who has an incredible amount of experience and insight into the auto industry. A former top executive at Ford, CEO of supplier companies working with the Mexicans and the Chinese, has she got a lot to talk about. Get your questions ready for rapid fire and then join us tonight live starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for Autoline After Hours. And that's it for the top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.